gentlemen, one important thing about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This guy right here? I think I like him much better than Scarlet Witch. That's for sure. Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boom Bop 1987. This is my review for today. And today I have another movie review to do, ladies and dudes. And this is one of the movie reviews I'm so darn sorry I did not do back in the year 2001. And this movie is pretty darn good, pretty darn enjoyable to watch. So for my next movie review is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I will say this is a good way to start Phase 4 for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm not sure if this is a very popular film or it could be one of the most underrated Marvel films that we got so far for the Marvel Cinematic Universe saga thing. Well, if you know what I mean. I mean, this is very darn enjoyable, and this is a very fun movie to watch. And it does have a much better villain. I really like this villain much better than Scarlet Witch from Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. At least this guy had a much better storyline, a very understandable storyline to follow. I'm sure somebody will like this villain too. Not just me, of course. Well, let's get this whole thing started, ladies and dudes. So, without further ado, ladies and dudes, here is my next movie review of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So, let's get this whole thing started with the main plot of the story. It's a story about a young man named Shang-Chi. He ran away from home from some unknown reason because he doesn't want to go back to the place that he normally came from. Some type of village thing or whatever where his father rules this place and he's working with a group of assassins who do bad, terrible stuff here and there. He just got out of there for the last 10 years and he lives in San Francisco peacefully with his girlfriend named Katie. And his life is a-okay for the most part. But not until a group of thugs came on the loose and they attacked that poor guy and tried to go after this little small pendant that he got from, you know, he has some type of necklace that has some type of pendant in it. It has something to do with a secret key or for some unknown reason. Well, whatever it is. So yeah, Shang-Chi had no choice but to go back to the place where he came from and get to know the secrets about his unknown past. Something that really haunted him for so many years. And some others. That's all I can say about the main plot of the story. And I guess everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings? Well, to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I will say this is one of the best Marvel movies I have ever seen so far for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, this is a very fun and enjoyable movie to watch. I mean, I did enjoy myself yesterday. I just watched it upstairs in my sister's room with my brand new TV. Yep. I mean, this movie is so much fun to watch. I was blown away from start to finish. It never bored me one bit. I mean, this is a very fun movie to watch. I will say one of the most funnest Marvel movies I have ever seen so far in Marvel history. I mean, it had a really good storyline. The characters are pretty darn likable and enjoyable to watch. I love the cinematography. I love the action scenes. I love the drama. I love the score. And I love the backstory that's happening to Shang-Chi and his family. The villain was pretty darn likable. And yeah, there's a whole lot of great fantasies going on in this film. So yeah, this movie's so darn mind-blowing to me. I will say this is one of the most underrated movies I have ever seen so far in Marvel history. This movie is so darn underrated. I think everybody needs to go back and rewatch this film. I mean, this is very darn enjoyable to watch. So anyway, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my strongest points and the weakest points of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I will say for my strongest points for this movie are truly the characters. I love every single one of these characters in the whole entire movie. They are so darn fun to watch. I mean, I love everybody. All the actors and actresses did a pretty good job with their roles. It was very well spot on. I will say everybody did a pretty good job. I can't find one single person who did a very horrible job for a character. I mean, this movie's so darn mind-blowing with the characters. I will say, out of all the Marvel's films I have ever seen so far in Marvel's history, I will say Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings had the best characters ever. I mean, they are very fun to watch. I love every single one of them. It's hard for me to pick which character I like the best. And I guess you want to know if this movie has some interesting fun facts that nobody never noticed about this movie. About this guy who played the main villain of the movie, to tell you the truth, this is his very first English role debut, since he never spoke English in another movie. I think he spoke his own language from another films in China, I believe. Well, I never studied about this actor much, but I think he did a pretty good job with his first English role debut. And also, does anybody remember this cool lady right here? Oh yeah, I love this lady so darn much. An interesting fun fact about her, she can speak both Chinese and English at the same time for a couple of movies here and there. And you did remember her from The Mummy 3, the Emperor's Tomb, if I remember that, the third Mummy movie, right? And also she's in that legendary film called The Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And also, she's a really cool martial arts lady. She knows how to do martial arts very, very darn well. I just love that lady so darn much, and I only know a few of her films here and there, so I do remember her very, very well. That's for sure. So I will say for the strongest points for this movie are the characters. I just love every single one of them. That's for sure. And as for the weakest points of the movie, I only got 2 weak points. Just 2. One is, I want to get to know who the heck murdered Shang-Chi's mother. They never explain about the part where if Shang-Chi did murder this guy who is responsible of killing his mother. They never explain who the murderer is. And we did not see the whole entire fight scene with Shang-Chi's mother when she was fighting with a couple of gangsters here and there. Sadly, they never showed that. So, yeah, I would like to get to know who this gangster is who's responsible of killing Shang-Chi's mom. And another weak point in the movie is I wish we could see a little bit more of those creatures. Since we only seen them one time only, and we never saw them again. I think, well, except for those draggy, horsey thingamajigs, I think we did see them in another scene of the film. But I would like to get to know more of these creatures, you know, what's their ability and what's their made home for their habitat or what they eat or whatever. After all, those creatures are really cool looking, and I really like some of these good creatures here and there that's in the film. I just wish they should explain a little bit more about them, if you know what I mean. So I will say my only weak points for this film is I want to get to know who the murderer is who's responsible of killing Shang-Chi's mother, and also getting to know about these amazing creatures. That's for sure. And now let's go on to the characters in the movie. Oh man, it's hard for me to pick which character I want to talk about in this movie review. I think to make the fans happy, I want to talk about this guy right here. Played by Tony, whatever his last name is, and since I can't pronounce Chinese names that well, I only know a little bit. I really like this character so darn much, and like I said, he's much better than Scarlet Witch. That's for sure. This dude had a really good storyline. He has a good personality, great attitude. He could do Chinese and English languages at the very same time. That's pretty darn cool. I just feel sorry for this dude. I understand how he feels. He just wants to settle down, have a family, and have a nice normal life with them. And yeah, I do understand he went on the wrong direction later on in the movie. Something he should not do at all. But yeah, at one point I really do feel sorry for the guy. And I understand how he seriously feels, you know, missing his wife and all that stuff. There was a little part in the movie where he did redeem himself, but sadly in a short period of time. Well, that's all I could say about this really cool guy who played the main villain in the movie. At least he's very likable, very enjoyable to watch, and he's just a misunderstood character. That's all. And the other character is Katie, played by this actress I really don't know of. I will say she's really the most funnest character I have ever seen in movie history. I mean, she is a really good love interest for the main character. I mean, she had a really good storyline. She has a great personality, great attitude, and she says some funny dialogues here and there that makes me laugh. And also, I will say one of the best parts I like about this character is she's truly fish out of water. She really doesn't know about Shang-Chi's world that much. And when she went with him to go on these very important ventures here and there that's in the story, she began to learn about so many important things here and there that she had never discovered before. So they did a pretty good job of giving this character a very good fish out of water story. And yeah, there's a lot of characters here and there who deserves to be fish out of water. Some characters we knew and loved so far in this Marvel Cinematic Universe thing. Well, you guys get the picture. And now, ladies and dudes, here's my final thoughts of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Overall, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is a very darn good movie to watch. And one of my favorite Chinese Asian storytelling films I really did enjoy so far in movie history. I will say it had a very good storyline, very enjoyable characters to watch. It has good sceneries and highlight moments of the film, great action scenes, great drama, great score, and this is the best fantasy film that I will never forget in movie history. Well, if you guys get the picture. So, I decided to give this film a really good score of 9 out of 10. Please check out this movie to believe it. That's for sure. So that's my whole entire movie review of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I hope you enjoyed this movie review, and join me next time for more movie reviews to come. I promise I will do Black Widow. I want to do my movie review of Caddyshack, and I gotta find a way to get going on those Liam Neeson films, the ones I haven't seen yet. If I can find a way to get to them soon. So, those are my futuristic movie reviews to come for this year, hopefully. We'll wait and see what happens. So, that is it for now. I'll see you guys later, and sayonara!